Hello, everybody. It's been, let's see, 12, 17 hours since I last talked to you guys. Um, this is a brand new episode of Dylan Knows. The reason I'm doing two this weekend is because it is my annual Oscar weekend prediction show. Sometimes I do it on Saturday, sometimes I do it on Sunday. In this case, I'm doing it Sunday because we were busy Saturday and then I had stuff to do today. So now we're here for this. This is episode 437, Oscars 2022, Failure is an Option. The reason why I call it that is because this year's a little bit more down dressed. Usually I dress up in a suit and tie and have all kinds of fancy stuff, but to be honest, I'm not feeling it this year. I really haven't been paying attention to the awards, so my predictions are going to probably be way off on a lot of these. I did check out what some other people were saying, so I used some of their picks as well as my own. I mean, not much I can do. I made some guesses on my own, and others I let other people take a look at. So I'm probably going to have another rough year. Last year I did 11 and 12, so it wasn't as good as it was as it has been the last few years. But yeah, and this year is just with all the COVID stuff, everything is all weird and wild now. But I figured I'd wear my Fluent Movie Quotes shirt. I'm not really that excited about the show because they're cutting a number of the awards that they're not going to show live on the show in order to try to get more people to come watch the show. They're adding some stuff that we'll see. They're going to have hosts for the first time in 2 years. I think having no hosts is the best for it. I think what people want in the Academy Awards is they want a fast show. They don't want one that goes 3.5, 4 hours long. They want it, over and done with, particularly if it's on a Sunday. Now, if you move to Saturday, go ahead and knock yourself out, go crazy. But it's always going to be on a Sunday and always has been. Everybody has to go to work tomorrow. They're not going to really stay up. And plus, a lot of the movies, a lot of people just haven't watched. And the nomination process and the way things are done, it's missing a huge demographic. And the Oscars have been consistently trying to figure out a way to grab that group of people to come in and watch the show, because the ratings have been tanking over the last few years for the Oscars. It used to be huge, but now they've just been tanking. And the main reason I think about it is because of, a lot of these movies, nobody ever heard of them. I haven't heard of half of these movies. In fact, I had my mind set. I thought that, and I'll talk about it later, but there's a specific movie I thought was going to run away with all the awards. And then I was checking on some other people's, predictions. So they said this movie's come out of nowhere and has been winning all this other stuff. I was like, when did that happen? This other movie was the one that was the hot one. Now this one is. And then there's been a lot of, the acting, the Best Actor award was, to me, I always thought was a two-man race, but now they added a third person to that now, and everybody is predicting that third person is going to win and not these two that everybody else said was going to win. So it's just one of these weird sort of things. And I guess they're trying to expand it a little bit with the, addition of, Dune getting a number of Academy Award nominations, and West Side Story, which are pretty good and stuff like that. But, the whole system itself in nominating pictures and stuff like that has been kind of in sharp decline over the last few years because of COVID. So, and a lot of the other stuff going on also is a lot of these movies, obviously because of COVID now, they are premiering on Amazon or Netflix, stuff like that. And that's kind of cool because that allows people who might not normally go to the movie theaters to see these, they might be able to go check them out on these Netflixes and stuff like that. And that's what I should be doing. But a lot of this stuff just doesn't interest me as it used to. So I used to be really into the movies and the Academy Awards, stuff like that. Now it's just sort of like kind of not a slog, but it just has been kind of hard. And last year's Academy Awards was weird, and it was moving along pretty good, and they added some stuff I didn't like. But what am I saying? You're not here to listen to me rant. This is more along than just my predictions. So here we are, about a little less than 3 hours before the show actually starts. And here are my picks for the Oscars 2022. Here's hoping maybe that I'll get my mindset. Maybe the world will be a better place come fall and early next year. And maybe I'll be able to see, more of these films for next year's Oscars. Because I remember a few years ago, I think it was 2020, or 2019's movies into the 2020 zone when they did the Academy Awards. Then I had seen most of those. Of the 10 best pictures, I saw half of them. So that I was kind of in a better position. And I did pretty good that year from what I recall. But last year was just sort of some dead certs did not become dead certs, particularly Chadwick Boseman's posthumous Oscar that he was supposed to win for Best Actor. That's why they switched up the way they were going to do the who won the awards, because they usually end with Best Picture, but they did Best Actor last, which was a stupid move, I think, on the director's part, because they all thought it was going to be Chadwick Boseman, would have been this wonderful story, posthumously, the last one, but it turned out to be Anthony Hopkins. So it was just sort of like, oh, it's over. Okay, good night. And it was a huge deal. So hopefully they'll get back to a bit normal. They've got hosts. Again, I'm not so sure about the hosts. They're all great women. Except I don't really like Amy Schumer that much, but that's just me. But they're there. And I just have a feeling they're just going to drag stuff on. It's going to be awful. The one thing I really do want to see is I want to see We Don't Talk About Bruno live performance. So that's really the only thing that's really jumping out at me. So without further ado, let's get into these. I'm just going to do them just all over the place to get people's attention drawn in here. I'm going to do some of the, or like they did in the Oscars, do some of the big ones first. Best Actress in a Supporting Role. The nominees are Jessie Buckley, The Last Daughter, Ariana DeBose, West Side Story, Judi Dench, Belfast, Kirsten Dunst, The Power of the Dog, and Anjanou Ellis for King Richard. The overwhelming, this is one of the ones that's a dead cert that probably isn't going to happen now, but the dead cert that she's been cleaning up all the awards, so like that. Ariana DeBose for West Side Story should be the winner on this one. That's my prediction as well. I'm just going to put a dot next to the ones that I've done so I don't forget which ones I've done and which ones I haven't done. Best Actor in a Supporting Role. The nominees are Ciarán Hinds for Belfast, Troy Kotsur for Coda, Jesse Plemons for The Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons for Being Ricardos, Cody Smith-McPhee for The Power of the Dog. Now, Cody Smith-McPhee for Power of the Dog had been the front runner for the longest time, and then the movie that's all of a sudden coming out of nowhere, which is getting all the buzz now, is the movie Coda. And so a lot of people are saying that it's between Troy Kotsur and Cody Smith-McPhee. But I'm going to go with, everybody seems to be on the same page that Troy Kotsur of Coda is going to win this one, and that's who I picked as well. So next up we have, let's do Best Visual Effects. The nominees are Dune, Free Guy, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and Spider-Man No Way Home. Everybody's on a kick that Dune is probably going to run away with the visual effects thing. It probably will, but it's the only nominee for Spider-Man No Way Home, which I absolutely loved. And the fact to have all three of the Spider-Mans together and all the villains and the Doctor Strange parallel mirror universe sort of thing going on. I'm picking Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm probably wrong, and Dune's probably going to win, but I think Spider-Man No Way Home. Shang-Chi had a lot of really cool effects as well, but I think I'm picking Spider-Man No Way Home, though I think Dune is probably going to be the one that runs away with it. Best Sound, the nominees are Belfast, Dune, No Time to Die, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. Dune is getting all the big buzz now for a lot of the stuff, so I'm going with Dune on that one. So a lot of people believe that Dune's going to sweep all their awards that they've been nominated for, which I don't think they're going to, particularly because of one coming up a little further down the line, and a few of the other ones down the line that they're probably not going to do, but a lot of the smaller ones are probably going to take down. Best Film Editing, the nominees are Don't Look Up, Dune, King Richard, The Power of the Dog, and Tick, Tick, Boom. Again, people are thinking Dune is going to run away with this one, so who am I to disagree with them? So we're going to go with Dune there with Film Editing. Costume Design, the nominees are Cruella, Cyrano, Dune, Nightmare Alley, West Side Story. Now, a lot of people believe that Dune is going to win this one as well, but I think Cruella being set in a fashion area and just the insane sort of costuming and stuff like that they've got going there. I think that's going to draw more attention, the bright, bombastic, crazy sort of costumes instead of sort of the muted sort of Dune one. So I got Cruella winning costume design on this one. But again, don't be surprised if Dune pulls off a victory here either. Animated short film, the nominees are Affairs of the Art, Bestia, Box Ballet, Robin, and The Windshield Wiper. Now, I have no idea about any of these. This is when I defer to people who actually seen the animated short films. They say it's pretty much a two-person race between Robin, and The Windshield Wiper, but I'm going with Robin because that seemed to be the choice that most people were going with. So Robin for Best Animated Short Film. Best Live Action Short Film. The nominees are A La Kachu, Take and Run, The Dress, The Long Goodbye, On My Mind, Please Hold. Again, I'm deferring to people who've seen these, and they're all saying The Long Goodbye is going to win this one. So let's go with The Long Goodbye. Why not? Documentary short subject. The nominees are Audible, Lead Me Home, The Queen of Basketball, 3 Songs for Benazir, and When We Were Bullies. Again, another two-person race, according to the people who've seen these ones. They believe it's going to be between Audible and The Queen of Basketball. Most people believe Audible is going to be the winner on this one, though a lot of people say watch out for Queen of Basketball. It might pull off the upset. But I'm going with Audible on this one. I'm calling it Audible and going with Audible on this one. Documentary feature. No, actually, no, we're not gonna do that yet. We'll do that closer to when we do all the other features. So, rewind that one. Original score. The nominees are Don't Look Up, Dune, Encanto, Parallel Mothers, The Power of the Dog. This one appears to be a clean sweep for Hans Zimmer's Dune score. So we're going to pick Dune for that one. There really is no other. Everyone is pretty much on agreement that Dune is going to win this one because you get to original song. The nominees are Be Alive from King Richard, Dos Oruguitas from Encanto, Down to Joy from Belfast, No Time to Die from No Time to Die, and Somehow You Do from 4 Good Days. This is going to be one of Encanto's first wins. They're going to win Dos Oruguitas. For Dos Oruguitas. Now, when they did the nominees for this, it was before the movie really took off, and everybody saw that We Don't Talk About Bruno was the hit of the show, of the movie. But look for Encanto to win the best original song here. So good on that. Makeup and hairstyling. The nominees are Coming to America, Cruella, Dune, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and House of Gucci. Now, this is pretty much a given. This is before I did my research. You hear makeup, the first thing you think of is Tammy Faye Baker and her makeup and all the heavy stuff like that. So I picked this. I picked The Eyes of Tammy Faye, as did most everybody else as well. They said keep an eye out for either Cruella, Coming to America, or Dune, or House of Gucci. They say this one's actually one of the closer ones. Any of these could conceivably win, but the majority of people believe Eyes of Tammy Faye is going to win this one due to the most makeup aspect of it. What do we got here? Production design. The nominees are Dune, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story. Again, everybody believes that Dune's going to walk away with this one. People are kind of freaking out that the Tragedy of Macbeth is not getting as much love as everybody thought it was because they believe it is one of the more spectacular films out there and should have gotten a bit more of a presence when it came to the nominations, but it didn't. But Dune's got the whole fantasy sci-fi sort of production thing. Everybody talked about how good the production design is. So check out Dune getting that one as well. Let's see. Best cinematography. The nominees are Dune, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story. Again, everybody's screaming Dune's going to win this one. But you know what? I've seen some of the footage from Tragedy of Macbeth, and I think the black and white aspect of it is going to really give some people some pause and to think about how gorgeous and solid it looks. So I'm going to go out on ledge and hit the underdog with the Tragedy Macbeth. I don't think it's going to win, but I'm hoping that if it does pull off an upset, this is the one that it'll do it in. So what we got left? We got the big ones, I think, right? The best films. So we'll do the screenplays next, since we're moving right along here. We're only at 15 minutes. This one might be a half-hour long show. The best adapted screenplay. The nominees are Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, The Lost Daughter, and The Power of the Dog. Everybody's screaming that Coda is going to win this one because Coda's all of a sudden gotten this new breath of fresh air, breath of life coming in here. But everybody thinks that's going to do that. Drive My Car is a foreign film. Foreign films have been doing extraordinarily well in this category over the last few years, surprising lots and lots of people who were expecting the more mainstream American films to win these awards. But I'm sticking with what I thought was going to be the big powerhouse movie of all. I think The Power of the Dog is going to win best adapted screenplay here, though everybody believes that Coda is going to win this one. So I wouldn't be surprised if Coda wins. I wouldn't be surprised if Drive My Car wins. Hell, wouldn't be surprised if Dune won also again on this one, but we'll see. Best original screenplay, the nominees are Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, and The Worst Person in the World. Now, with this one, everybody seems to think that Belfast, which when it first came out was the odds-on favorite, but as other movies started coming out and showing up, the movie started falling more and more into the background of people's ideas of the movies, so like that, so the popular movies. So I didn't pick this, but Belfast is probably the one that if it's going to win anything, it probably win original screenplay on this one. But I'm going with Licorice Pizza because everybody loves Paul Thomas Anderson, PTA. And even though a lot of people say that this is one of his not as good movies, but everyone still is absolutely in love with PTA. And so I'm thinking that this is going to be PTA's only award for the night as well, winning this one. So I'm going with Licorice Pizza as best original screenplay. But again, this might be where Belfast rolls in. So don't be surprised if either of those two. You can't go wrong with picking either one of those two, I would assume. So that leads us to the okay. We're into try and get this done in half an hour. That'll probably be a good, reasonable amount of time to get this done in. So next up, we have Best Actress in a Leading Role. The nominees are Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz for Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos, and Kristen Stewart for Spencer. There's pretty much everyone is agreement on who's going to win this one, but also everyone's also in agreement that there is one person who should win, but will not win. They believe that Kristen Stewart should actually win this award for Spencer. She will not. Jessica Chastain will win this award for The Eyes of Tammy Faye. So that's who I picked, and that's who the majority of people are picking as well. Best Actor in a Leading Role, the nominees are Javier Bardem, Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch for The Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom, Will Smith for King Richard, and Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth. Now, this one's an interesting one because for the longest time, everybody was talking about Benedict Cumberbatch was going to run away with this award. And so that's what they kept beating the drum. Benedict's going to win. He started winning a lot of the other big ones. He's going to win this. He's going to win. He's going to win. He's going to win. And then Andrew Garfield came out of nowhere with Tick, Tick, Boom. And has won a couple of acting awards and some of the other award shows that we've had. So he was it's going to be a two-person's race between Benedict Cumberbatch and Andrew Garfield. But now what I've been seeing while doing my research here is now there's a new front runner amongst all of these, and that is Will Smith and King Richard. Lots of people believe that this is the one that's going to give Will Smith his first Oscar. So it looks like it's a three-person race. I'm still going to stick with my original choice of Benedict Cumberbatch because, again, everybody was screaming Chadwick's going to win. Chadwick's going to win last year, and he didn't. So I'm thinking that we're probably not going to see Will Smith win this one for whatever reason. I don't think Andrew Garfield's going to win this one, though it would be a Capra to quite a year for him. I think Benedict is still the front runner to win this one, and I'm still picking Benedict Cumberbatch to win this award. So that leads us to Best Director. The nominees are I guess Kenneth Branagh for Belfast. I don't know who directed Drive My Car. PTA for Licorice Pizza. Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog. And Steven Spielberg for West Side Story. Actually, I don't have my phone, so I couldn't tell you who the director of Drive My Car is, which I feel bad about actually now. But I believe in this one, Jane Campion's been cleaning up lately, even with her pretty bad comment she made about the Venus and Serena Williams. It wasn't meant to be a bad comment, but she was trying to make a point, but she just made it in a really bad way. So but that all happened after the votes had already been tallied. So I don't think it's going to change anything. Again, this might be one where you might find a Kenneth Branagh pulling out a Belfast victory, a Licorice Pizza win. And as I said, the foreign films have been winning these best directing roles recently. But in this case, I still think Jane Campion's the favorite. Is still going to be the one to beat. I think she wins for best director for The Power of the Dog. Best documentary feature. The nominees are Ascension, Attica, Flee, Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised, and Writing with Fire. Summer of Soul has been getting all the talk, all the buzz, and it's the one where, a lot of the viewers, they don't watch all the stuff. They start hearing people start talking about this one film. They say, this one must be pretty good, so we're going to vote for that. So I think Summer of Soul's got this one in the bag. So I'm choosing that as best documentary feature. Another one I think has theirs in the bag would be best animated feature. And the nominees are Encanto, Flee, Luca, The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Raya and the Last Dragon. This one is, if there's anything, another dead cert is I think Encanto is going to win this one outright because the popularity of Encanto spiraled with the voting for the best animated feature. So I believe that it's going to pull out the totally expected victory on this one. So Encanto gets that one. International feature film, the nominees are Drive My Car, Flee, The Hand of God, Luana, A Yak in the Classroom, and The Worst Person in the World. Again, the international feature film the last couple of years has been won by a movie that has also either won the best Oscar, like with Parasite, or also has been, in the conversation for best picture. I forget what the one was last year. So I'm going to go with Drive My Car is going to win there because it's got a lot of nominations. I think it's going to win this one outright. I think this was another dead cert. It's going to win this one. Worst Person in the World might be the only other one that might give it some competition because that was also nominated for original screenplay. So we will find out, but those are my picks for that. So I think that all leads to the final nomination. Making sure I hit everything. Yep. So the final award for the night is Best Picture, and the nominees are Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. I was all in on going with The Power of the Dog on this one because I thought it was the hot movie at the time, but Coda has come out of nowhere to sort of surprise everyone. Belfast was one that was in the conversation for a while there. But in the end, this one is going to have to come down to the hot film of the time, the one that everybody's talking about, the one that's been winning some award, the more later award show more recently. Got to go with Coda for Best Picture on this one. It's not when I was going to go to, I was totally all in on Power of the Dog winning this one. But when I started seeing that everybody was beating the drum on Coda, I was like, maybe there's something I don't know about it. It's supposedly the story is like about a deaf family that has one person in it that can hear, but the whole rest of the family's deaf, and it's a situation sort of like that. It seems like perfect fodder for an Academy Award win on that one. So I believe Coda has got the victory on this one. So within 25 minutes, there are your 23 nominees. As I said, you're not going to see all these on TV, which is absolute bullshit. And I hope the Oscars take into account the backlash this has caused and they go back to normal next year. Also, if you want to get more people to watch, make it a shorter show because honestly, we have short attention spans because we're idiots. And that's just the way things are now. And you also, most of these movies no one has ever heard of. The ones that they have heard of are the ones that, you know, aren't in for the big awards, the big stuff like that. One way you can make it a bit more interesting is to do like what the Golden Globes do. You do best drama movie and best comedy musical, because we know most people like the comedy musicals over the dramas, so they might come to see, you know, and then you could, you know, add that for, you know, best actor in a comedy role and a best actor for drama, so you can add a little extra. It would be adding some, you know, like 10 more awards, but you don't need to keep doing these stupid little games and retrospectives and stuff like that. Just come in, don't have any host, just come in and just bam, bam, bam. Here's your next award. Here's the next award. Here's your speech. Here's the next award. Then I still think you should do all the musical ones of the original songs. You have all the performers sing those. Do that. Have the in memoriam. But you don't need to keep doing these, you know, banging the drums on all these retrospective stuff like that. People really don't care. They just want the awards. They want to see who's going to win, and then boom, get out of there. But that's not going to happen anytime soon. And I believe the ratings for this are going to be even worse than they have been in many years. I'm still going to watch it, but it's going to be a slog for me. I'm not really looking forward to it, but I just kind of am going to go with the flow in this one. But there's my nominees. Come back to my show next week for episode 438. You'll find out how well I did. As I said, last year I was 11 and 12. I'm expecting something similar this year, if not worse than that, because honestly, I really haven't seen any of these movies, which is, you know, my own personal fault. But you know, I have plenty of opportunities, and most of them are available on the streaming sources that I own. So I could have, you know, spent some time to think about them, but I just didn't care. So we'll find out how well I do, and we'll see. So thanks for listening, and it's a really short, quick one. We'll back to my old regular nonsense next week. We'll be entering April, so this is going to be my last show for March. So we're moving right along here. We're entering the 4th month at the end of this week. So keep your heads up, and we'll see you later. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching, and watch the Oscars just to see how stupid I am in my picks.